Barbecue chicken. That's all I got to say.
That's all you have to say, right?
Barbecue chicken.
I'm suddenly craving some barbecue chicken. Who wants some? Nation, what is good? This is Darth Raider, and I'm coming at you with my post-game reaction and recap to our third straight win. This time it's going to be against the LA Chargers. All right, so for those of you that do not know, out of all of the AFC teams, out of actually all the football teams, the LA, San Diego, Chargers, Sparklers, whatever you want to call them, they are the team that I absolutely hate the most. So any win against the Chargers is a great win. All right, so this is how we're going to do it. We're going to go ahead and just do a little bit of a recap, my thoughts. I'll go ahead and give out some game balls, and then we'll talk about what the next opponent looks like. As always, we do not start off great at all. First drive, it was a 3 and outs. Then the next time we got the ball back, fumbled by Josh Jacobs. Thankfully, none of these things, resulted in points for the other team. Up until Derek Carr threw a pick six on the third drive. Some people will say it was a pass interference. Other people are going to say that it was a good no call. I was actually having a hard time with it because I actually thought it was a pass interference just by the way that I think it was Asante Samuel that hit Mac Hollins in the head. But it is what it is. They didn't call it off, so obviously they got into an early lead. That was really it for the first quarter. So we go into the second quarter. We're down in 7-0, and they get the ball to start off the quarter, and they hit a field goal. So quickly, it's already 10-0. Offense is not looking good. Thankfully, we do have some contributions from the man that has been missing this whole year, Chandler Jones, with a couple of sacks. Eventually, we do get the ball back, drive it down. Josh Jacobs does this Josh Jacobs thing, and he scores in a rushing touchdown for a 20-yard touchdown run. For the rest of the half, it was really it was kind of hard fought there. All we really did is just exchange some field goals. So going into half, the score was going to be 13-10. So at the start of the second half is when things really get spicy for us. On our first defensive drive, Deron Harmon actually knocks the ball out of Austin Eckler's hand, causing a fumble. That way we get the ball back in their own territory. So we get the ball back on the very next play. DC calls it up to Davante Adams for a 31-yard touchdown pass off the sideline. It was a one-on-one coverage. There was no way that DB was going to get him. At this point, we take the lead, and it's going to be a 17-13 game. The Sparklers get the ball back. They drive down a little bit. They couldn't really get anywhere once they got to our half of the field, so they ended up kicking a field goal. Thankfully, they do miss the field goal. We get the ball back at, I believe, around like 40-ish yard line. And at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and say that I apologize to Josh McDaniels. Every week in the beginning of the year, I had absolutely trashed him with these trick plays. I don't see what the point of them is. Looks desperate to me. But here I am eating crow. Just like last week, this week, we dial up a flea flicker. This time, a 45-yard touchdown pass from Derek Carr to Davante Adams. At this point, it's 13-24 Raiders. Not much happened at the rest of the third quarter. It was just kind of like driving, punching the ball back and forth and stuff like that. Really couldn't get anything going. But I will say that the defense has really stepped up at this point and definitely have negated the Chargers from getting any points the rest of this quarter. So shout out to them, and whatever the scheme is that they're using now, or the adjustments that they have been doing is something that is fresh. Whatever they're doing, like I said, they're doing a great job. So major props to them. Get the ball back at the end of the third quarter, kind of drive it down to the beginning of the fourth quarter. Didn't get much done, so we end up kicking a 25-yard field goal thanks to Daniel Carlson. At this point, it's going to be 27-13 Raiders. The very next drive was about like 12, 13 plays or something like that. Keenan Allen actually just gets away from Amik Robertson. I'm not going to lie to you. Herbert's pass was actually pretty good. It was a 4th and 12. All they really needed was a first down, but they dialed it up to Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen caught a 35-yard touchdown run. A 35-yard touchdown pass. At this point, it is 20-27 Raiders with about maybe 8 or 9 minutes left. We get the ball back. We try our best to run the clock out and stuff like that. I believe we gave them the ball back with around like 3.5 minutes or something like that. Thankfully, our defense did what they had to do. They applied the pressure. They, caused some disruptions, things of that sort. So we actually got the ball back with I think 2 minutes, a little bit over 2 minutes left. So obviously we used the, that 2-minute warrant as an extra timeout. Sorry. Unfortunately, we couldn't get anything going there. We couldn't get any points and stuff like that. But we did manage to run out the clock up until a point where it was only about like 30 seconds left in the game. So we obviously punt the ball back to them. They couldn't get anything going. I think they had a couple of passes, one for like 15 yards, another one for like 8 or 9 or 10 or something like that yards. But at the end of the day, they got tackled inside of the field. No timeouts left. We end up winning the game. We come out victorious. That's 3 in a row, baby. That's 3 in a row. And I'm sure, as all of you guys have heard now, the theme of the game is barbecue chicken. So Keenan Allen actually has been super disrespectful, to all the Raider fans, Raider Nation, all the players and stuff like that. It's whatever. I think it's a little bit strange to me because he did grow up a Raiders fan as well. So, not too sure what's going on with that. Maybe it's just that fire. Maybe he really wanted to be a Raider. We never picked him up. I don't know. He is salty. He did say that we were barbecue chicken, meaning that we were worthless. We were cooked. This game's a wrap. So the theme throughout the whole week was we were barbecue chicken. We flipped that around him. So fuck you, Keenan Allen. We won. Was good. So really quickly, my thoughts throughout this whole game. I know I talked about the recap and stuff like that. I'm really, really liking what I am seeing from this defense. Although there are some holes, some of these guys are coming alive. Case in point, Chandler Jones with 3 sacks. All the rest of the team had 5 sacks overall, which actually reminds me of that saying that the great late Al Davis said.
Within the first 5 to 10 plays of the game, the other team's quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard.
This defense is actually showing up really well. I'm liking it. The offense has been doing a lot better job. There are a little bit of wrinkles and stuff like that, but I will say that even though the offense has been clicking, we don't have Hunter Renfrow. We don't have Darren Waller. I'm not too sure how much an impact is going to do now because it's so late in the season. I really doubt we're going to be able to make the playoffs or anything like that. But what I will say, what I do kind of want to see from this team is kind of be that team that kind of derails other teams' chances if it means that they're not going to be going to the playoffs, or if it means that we drop them into like a lower seed or something like that, kind of screw them over. Hey, if we could do that, I'm totally fine with that. All right, guys, so there was my recap along with my reaction. I'm going to go ahead and give a couple of game balls, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about who's going to be next. Let's get that going. All right, so my first game ball is going to go to our star wide receiver, Devontae Adams. That guy just continues to produce. He continues to be a leader. He continues to be that threat that we've been missing for a long time. From juking the shit out of DBs.
Ball in the middle of the field. If that route is working with perfect timing, he catches it about the near hash or just in front of that near hash.
To catching touchdowns, the man can do it all. Guy went for 8 receptions, 177 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's honestly, I want to say that's probably his best game as a Raider so far. All right, so game ball number 2 is going to go to the workhorse himself, Josh Jesus Jacobs. Hey, man, I mean, it's just one of those things. I think at this point right now, we are 5-1 whenever he has over 100 yards. This man continues to be the heart of the team. Obviously, he wants to get paid. He's doing whatever he can to get paid. He's obviously even playing injured. He's getting these cortisone shots on his calf, right before the game. So, thank you for him. Thank you for his contributions. I really hope, like I've mentioned over and over again, I really hope we get to re-sign this guy. Dude goes for 26 carries, 144 yards, and a tutty. Not only that, he's still the leading rusher in the NFL. And my third game ball is going to go to the man, the guy that we've been missing for the last 12 weeks, Chandler Jones. Hey, man, I'm going to give you flowers when the flowers are due. I'm going to go ahead and criticize you when the criticism needs to be said. But in that first half of the game, oh my goodness, this dude looked like he was unstoppable, just completely wrecking shit, whether it was sacks, quarterback hits, disrupting these running lanes, whatever it was, man. So with 6 total tackles, 5 solo, 3 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, 5 quarterback hits, as well had the best game as a Raider. So shout out to Chandler Jones. Hopefully you can just go ahead and continue in building onto this, to the rest of the season, because as mentioned before, we definitely need some more production out of you. So this isn't really a game ball, but I also did want to give one last shout out to the defense. They kept us in the game in that first half because, like I mentioned before, in the first 3 drives, it was a 3 and out. Then it was a fumble by Josh Jacobs. It was a pick six by Carr. We could have easily around like 21-0 in that first quarter, but they kept us in, limited as much as they could. And I believe, I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that I only allowed 13 points. So whatever they're doing, I think it's been incredible so far. They're actually picking it up when we most need it right now. I kind of wish, obviously, that they could have been playing like this all year, but it is what it is. Life comes at you fast. This week comes at you fast. We have a game on Thursday against the LA Rams. It's actually pretty good timing for us to face the Rams. When you first saw the schedule in the early year, you kind of thought like, oh man, this might be a loss, late in the season. But they have no Stafford, they have no Kupp, they have no Aaron Donald. So if this is the team that we believe is continuing to grow and continuing to build, they should be able to beat this team. So let's go down there on Thursday. Let's go ahead and take care of business. Get that W, hand that ass whooping, come back to meet the Patriots, because that's going to be a really important week as well. All right, Nation, that was it for me. Sorry this is a little bit late in the day for you. This might actually be going out on Tuesday morning. I'm not too sure. I just had a huge weekend. I had a baby shower for my fiance. We're expecting over in February and stuff like that. So yesterday, Sunday was just a complete overwhelming of joy, all that stuff, man. But I did rewatch the game late. It was up on the TV, but I mean, hey, I'm running around everywhere, saying what's up to everyone. Hopefully you guys are, still interested in this kind of stuff, but I will be, like I said, having the preview going up probably on Wednesday. Before I let you guys go ahead and pay that tab, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I'm gonna go ahead and see y'all later. Peace out.